Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
So, yesterday I spoke on the purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, and partly we discussed about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And yesterday I mentioned that today we will discuss about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings have been summarized in a beautiful verse by one very exalted devotee, Srinath Chakravarti. He was kind of contemporary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he summarized Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings through one verse. It goes like, Aradha Bhagavan Brojesho Tanai Stadhama Vrindavanam Ramma Kachidupashana Brajabodhu Bargena Ja Kolpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradaro Naparaha. That is Mahaprabhu's teachings. The first consideration is Aradha Bhagavan Brajesho Tanai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the son of Nanda Maharaj. From Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, we are understanding that the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna of Vrindavan, is the son of Nanda Maharaj. That is, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead is not the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. That is Vasudev Krishna. Vasudev Krishna is an expansion of the original Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Brajesho Tanai. And Stadhama Vrindavanam. His dham, his abode is Vrindavan. And this Supreme Personality of Godhead never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parittajya kutra kadapi na gacchati. He never leaves Vrindavan. And Ramma Kachidupashana Brajabodhu Bargena Ja Kolpita. Brajabodhu, the cowherd damsels. The way the cowherd damsels worshipped Krishna, that is the highest form of worship. Now, the consideration is, what is the proof? And he's saying, the praman, or the proof of this statement, is the spotless Puran Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Amal means spotless. Amalam Puranam. And Prema Pumartha Mahan, to achieve the love for Krishna, is the ultimate goal of life. Pumartha or Purushartha. The meaning of the word Purushartha or Pumartha is the ultimate goal of life. To receive Krishna Prem. And he is saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Matamidam. This is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the conclusion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Tatradaro. Accept that wholeheartedly. And napara, there is no need to accept anything else. Because when you get the ultimate, then what's the use of going for anything else? Because that's the highest. Highest means everything else is included in that, not excluded in that. Everything else is there. So that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. And this has been, when we go into it, when you probe into it, when you try to understand these statements, then we see that time and time again it is becoming confirmed. From Srila Jiva Goswami's writings, Rupa Goswami's writing, Sanatana Goswami's writing, it is becoming clear. Krishna of Vrindavan is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. His first expansion is Balaram. And from Balaram expands Chaturbhuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. This Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, they are expansions of Balaram. And then from this Sankarshan expands various Narayans in Vaikuntha. So this understanding is very clear in Srimad Bhagavatam. So who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna of Vrindavan. This understanding we get from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Krishna is not an incarnation. Yesterday we discussed about that. Bhagavatam is establishing that. Krishna is not an incarnation. Krishna is not an avatar. Krishna is the avatari. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom different incarnations expanded. And then his abode is Vrindavan. When we see the spiritual world, again we are getting it from Srimad Bhagavatam. The material nature, beyond this material nature is Brahma Jyoti. The spiritual world is ever effulgent. Natad bhashrayate surja na sasanka na pavaka. In the spiritual world, there is no need for sun or moon or fire to light it up. The spiritual world is full of effulgence. It's ever lit, forever it's light. Why? Because of Brahma Jyoti. This material nature is the world of darkness, and spiritual world is the world of light. And in that world of light, there are many spiritual planets, and they are known as Vaikunthas. Vaikuntha. And beyond Vaikuntha is Mathura Mandal. And in Mathura Mandal there is Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is the topmost region of the spiritual world. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Nanda Maharaj, eternally resides there. And there he has loving relationships with his devotees. There in the spiritual world, he has the loving relationship. हाँ ये थोड़ा लाइट ये कम कर दो, ज़्यादा हो गए. You're controlling the sound. Who is? अच्छा sound টা ঠিক आगे ठीक ছিল ওটা কমিয়ে দাও একটু. In the spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna has various types of loving relationships. In Vaikuntha, there is only two kinds of relationships. There are 5 different types of relationships, loving relationships. Do you all know that? What are those 5 relationships? Huh? They are known as Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakharas, Vatsalaras, and Madhur Ras. There are 5. In Vaikuntha, there is only Shanta and Dasya. In Vaikuntha, there is no Sakhya. In Vaikuntha, Narayan doesn't have a friend. In Vaikuntha, Narayan doesn't have father and mother. In Vaikuntha, Narayan doesn't have paramours, girlfriends. Lakshmi Devi is there, but Lakshmi Devi is serving in Dasyaras. So in Vaikuntha there is only Shanta and Dasya. The yogis are meditating in Shantaras and everyone else is serving him in Dasyaras. But when you go to Vrindavan, we find Krishna has friends. The cowherd boys are Krishna's friends. Sakhya. Then above Sakhya is Vatsalya. Krishna has father and mother, Nanda, Jashoda, and the elderly Gopas, Sunanda, Nanda, Sadananda, Upananda, Krishna's uncles and aunts. So there, with them, Krishna has a parental relationship. So Sakhya is there, Vatsalya is there, and there are cowherd damsels, gopis. With the gopis, Krishna has a loving relationship. And just like a young boy has a loving relationship with a young girl. Not only one young girl, Krishna has loving relationships with unlimited young girls. That's Vrindavan. Now, of all these relationships, of all these 5 kinds of relationship, Santya, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhur, which is the highest? Madhur. Conjugal relationship. And with the gopis, Krishna has this conjugal relationship. And conjugal relationship are also of 2 kinds. One is called Swakya and the other is called Parakya. Swakya, like the relationship between husband and wife. And Parakya is relationship between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. And the scripture says that that relationship in Parakya Melo is the highest of all relationships. Jayo Jayo Jalo Rasho Sharbo Rasho Shar Parakya Bhabe Jaha Brojete Prachar. Jayo Ujjala Rasho. All glory to the most brilliant. Ujjal means brilliant. Sarva Rasha Sar, which is the essence of all the other mellows. Parokiya bhave jaha brajete prachar. The way it has become manifest in Braj, Vrindavan, in Parokiya relationship. So that is, again we are finding that of all kinds of relationships, loving relationship with Krishna, the highest is the way the gopis served Krishna. They have been substantiated. All these points has been substantiated very nicely through various statements in the scriptures. One such statement is Anarpita choring chirat korunayavatirna kalau. Why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give something that was not given before. Anarpita. What is that? Korunaya avatirna kalu, very mercifully he came to distribute. And what is that? Samarpoitam unnata ujjala rasam. Like I just mentioned, is the Ujjvala Rash, the loving relationship in conjugal mellow, and here it is being established. Unnata means the highest, most exalted of all five relationships. Conjugal relationship, Ujjvala, most brilliant, that is in Parokiya mellow. Unnato Ujjala Rashang Swabhakti Shriyam. He came to distribute his own devotion in that mellow. Krishna came to distribute his devotion. And who is that Krishna? That Krishna is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unnato Ujjala Rashang Sabhakti Shriyam. Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita. Krishna, whose complexion is dark, he has assumed a complexion like molten gold. And this molten gold complexion has been very beautifully described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami as Kumkumakta Kanchanabja Garbhahari Gaurabha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bodily complexion is like not only just molten gold, but molten gold blended with kumkum. Kumkum is red, and molten gold has yellowish complexion. It's a combination of golden and reddish complexion. That's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's complexion, and that's actually the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Krishna came assuming the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Again, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it has been described, actually, that complexion of Radharani is covering the sham sundar form of Krishna. Like Krishna himself with that covering. The covering is the covering of Radharani's complexion. And that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Radharani and Krishna combined. Krishna assuming the form of Srimati Radharani. Not the form, I'm sorry. Krishna assuming the mood of Srimati Radharani and the complexion of Srimati Radharani. It's he himself, Krishna himself, in the mood of Srimati Radharani. What is the mood of Srimati Radharani? Krishna Prem, Mahabhav, Swarupini Radha Thakurani. The highest loving relationship is displayed by Srimati Radharani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna assumed that mood. And Krishna also has assumed her complexion. Radha bhavoddhutishu balitam nomi Krishna swarupam. Krishna swarupam, Krishna himself. Radha bhav and duti. Bhav means mood, duti means complexion. Radharani's mood. What is Radharani's mood? The intense loving mood. And complexion is like molten gold. So that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are seeing here what is the highest form of worship? The way the gopis worshipped Krishna in Vrindavan. So that is these are the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like when we approach Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing us that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead who always resides in Vrindavan, and the way the gopis loved him, that is the highest form of loving relationship. That's the highest form of devotional relationship, devotional service. And when we see, now we can consider why Krishna came as a devotee. That also has been established in Chaitanya Charitamrita very beautifully. It said, Jatheshto bihari Krishna kare antardhan, antardhan kori mone kare anuman. Krishna Jatheshto bihari, abundantly performing his pastimes. Krishna withdrew his pastimes, kare antardhan, he left. He went back to the spiritual world. And then, kare antardhan kori mone kore anuman. After withdrawing his pastimes, after disappearing from this planet, Krishna considered kare anuman. He thought within himself, Chirokal nahi kori prema bhakti dhan. I do not offer my loving relationship always, for a long, long time. I didn't give that. And unless and until one receives that loving relationship, the existence of a living entity is completely futile. Prem bina jagoter nahi adhishtan, nahi avasthan. Unless and until one gets this love, one doesn't fulfill his existence properly. So this also has been pointed out why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Namo Rupa Goswami is saying, Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Why did Krishna come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? In order to give Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem is so rare that Krishna Prem is not available to anyone and everyone. Krishna Prem is not available even to Lord Brahma. Krishna Prem is not available even to Lakshmi Devi. Krishna Prem is not available to Lord Shiva. So this person is distributing Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem is so rare that even Lord Shiva doesn't have Krishna Prem. Lord Brahma doesn't have Krishna Prem. Rare, not doesn't have, it's rare for them. They got it in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. In Krishna's pastimes also Lord Shiva got it. But how did he get it? As Gopishya Shiva. Lord Shiva had to become a gopi. Then only he could get Krishna Prem. Lakshmi Devi heard about Krishna's Braja Leela. And she told Narayan, please allow me to go to Vrindavan in Brajal pastimes of yours. Then Narayan said, okay, good. So you become subservient to one of the gopis of Vrindavan. And then only you'll be able to go there. Lakshmi Devi said, I'm Lakshmi, how can I become subservient? How can I surrender myself to someone else? My position is the highest. I cannot surrender to anyone else. Then Narayan said, then forget about going to Vrindavan. So then Lakshmi Devi performed severe austerity. And Krishna appeared to her. Lakshmi, what happened? Why are you performing such austerity? So Lakshmi said, I want to enter into your Braja Leela. So then Krishna blessed Lakshmi on his chest as Sri Vatsya. And that's how Lakshmi Devi had entrance to Vrindavan. So we can see how rare this Krishna prem is. Brahmara Durlabha prem. And this Brahmara Durlabha prem, the prem which is rare even to Lord Brahma, Shabakare Jache, is distributing to everyone. Come take it, come take it. Jathishtam re bhrato kuru hori hori dhana manisham. Nityananda Prabhu is just calling everybody, my dear brothers, come and take it. Adhama patito jiber dare dare giya harinam mahamantra day bilaya. Nityananda Prabhu going out and begging, come, take this Krishna prem. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bestowing such mercy. Therefore Rupa Goswami is saying, who this person is? He is distributing Krishna prem in this way, which is rare even for Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. So who is this person? So he must be Krishna himself. Because other than Krishna, no one can give Krishna prem in this way. That's how Rupa Goswami, very intelligently, he is actually making this conclusion. He must be Krishna. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. So Krishnaya, he must be Krishna. So that Krishna has come as Krishna Chaitanyaya. Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namo. So that is the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna considered that I came to give this Krishna prem, I reveal my Braja Leela, but how will anyone ever enter into my Vrindavan pastimes? Now then he is actually talking about a very important consideration. He is saying that the whole world worships me following the scriptures. The instructions of the scriptures, following the instruction, devotional service following the instructions of Krishna, devotional service following the instructions of the scriptures is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti, Vidhi, rules and regulations. Following the rules and regulations, when devotional service is executed, that is called Vaidhi Bhakti. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered, Shakol Jagote More Kore, Krishna considered, Shakol Jagote More Kore Vidhi Bhakti. The whole world renders devotional service unto me following the rules and regulations of the scriptures. But Vidhi Bhakti Brajo Prem Paite Nare Shakti. By following Vaidhi Bhakti, one can't get Brajo Prem. Why? Because when one renders devotional service following the Vaidhi Bhakti, one goes to Vaikuntha. The ultimate perfection of following Vaidhi Bhakti leads to Vaikuntha. And in Vaikuntha, one gets Sharupa, Samippa, Shalokya and Shashti, these four kinds of liberation. So, by getting this liberation or entering into Vaikuntha, one gets his spiritual identity, which is eternal. Then how will anyone ever go to Vrindavan, which is beyond Vaikuntha? So that's a problem. Krishna considered. Now Krishna can solve any problem. How did he solve this problem? Shakol jagote more kore vividhi bhakti. The whole world worships me following Vaidhi Bhakti, and following Vaidhi Bhakti one will go to Vaikuntha. Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi. How many of you know this verse? Very good. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhing Bina Vaikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataiva Kalpate. How many of you know the meaning of the word Utpat? Utpat means disturbance. So if devotional service is rendered without following the instructions of Shruti, Smriti, Puran, etc., it simply creates disturbance. Meaning, everyone must render devotional service following the rules and regulations of scriptures. And by serving Krishna following the rules and regulations of the scripture, one will enter into Vaikuntha. So how will anybody enter into Vrindavan? Isn't it a problem that Krishna was facing? You see how Krishna solved the problem. Okay, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped by following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, then he'll go to Vaikuntha. But when the devotee Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped by following Vaidhi Bhakti, then he'll go to Vrindavan. As I told, Krishna can solve any problem. Therefore, Krishna came as a devotee. Okay, then also there is further consideration. By appearing as a devotee, how does he enable one to enter into Vrindavan? What qualifies one to enter into Vrindavan? By following this devotee Krishna. Okay, now let us go into another consideration. There are two types of bhakti. One type of bhakti I mentioned is Vaidhi Bhakti. And is there another kind of bhakti? Very good, Raganuga Bhakti. So actually it is through Raganuga Bhakti that one enters into Vrindavan. Vaidhi Bhakti leads to Vaikuntha, Raganuga Bhakti leads to Vrindavan. What is the meaning of Raganuga Bhakti? Raganuga, it's a combination of two words. Rag and Anuga. Rag means love. And Anuga means following. There are devotees, those who have only love for Krishna. They have only love for Krishna. And when one follows them, that bhakti is called Raganuga Bhakti. So these are the residents of Vrindavan. especially the gopis. All they have is only love for Krishna. Once there was a consideration, Rukmini Devi, after Krishna was kidnapped by the residents of Vrindavan during Rath Yatra. You remember Rath Yatra festival? You know what is the Rath Yatra festival? Rath Yatra festival is actually a festival of kidnapping Krishna. Krishna was kidnapped by the residents of Vrindavan. Krishna went to Shamanta Panchak during the solar eclipse. He was supposed to come back, but he didn't come back. Days went by, he didn't come back. So everyone was worried, what happened? Why didn't Krishna come back? Then the news reached Dwarka. Krishna has been kidnapped. By whom? The residents of Vrindavan. So Rukmini Devi was very upset. How do they dare to kidnap the prince? So she gathered the army, commanded the army, and led the army, took the army, and she sieged Vrindavan, arrested all the residents of Vrindavan to punish them. It's a big crime, isn't it? To kidnap somebody, and what to speak of kidnapping the prince? So she was going to punish them. But before punishment, there must be judgment. And in judgment, there must be lawyers. One is public prosecutor, the person who actually takes the side of the government, and the other is the defending the criminal. So here the criminals are the Brajavasis. And one point came up that the gopis, the Brajavasis' lawyer is Lalita Devi. So she actually made the point, no, we didn't kidnap Krishna. Krishna himself wanted to come. We simply assisted him to come here. We didn't kidnap him. We just assisted him. Then Rukmini Devi admitted, yes, that's true. In Dwarka, Krishna is always absent-minded, as if his mind is somewhere else. During the daytime, Krishna's mind is somewhere else. And at night, Krishna calls out in his sleep, "Oh Shubal, oh Sudam, oh Basudam, oh Nanda Maharaj, my Nanda Baba, Jasoda Mai, Mother, I'm sorry, I stole butter. I promise I'll never do that again." Then Krishna calls out the gopis, "Oh Lolita, oh Vishakha, oh Radhe." So she admitted that during the daytime, Krishna is absent-minded, and at night Krishna goes somewhere else. Where does Krishna go? Krishna goes to Vrindavan. But the question arose, in Dwarka, everything is there. Is the height of opulence. Then what attracts Krishna to Vrindavan, which is just a forest? Why Krishna is so attracted to Vrindavan? Then she got the answer. You see, in Vrindavan, it's a forest. Millions of trees, but all these trees are desire tree. In Vrindavan, the land is Chintamani. In Vrindavan, Krishna is tending the cows. Those cows are Surabhi cows. So they all can fulfill any desire. If it's a matter of opulence, if they wanted opulence, they could have it unlimitedly. But the residents of Vrindavan, all they want is love for Krishna. They don't want anything. All they want is Krishna due to their intense love. So, this is how it is established. The residents of Vrindavan has intense love for Krishna, and besides loving Krishna, they don't have any other desire. All their attention, all their attachment is to Krishna. So this loving, intense loving relationship is called Ragatmika Bhakti. The residents of Vrindavan have Ragatmika Bhakti. And when one follows one of the residents who has Ragatmika Bhakti is called Raganuga Bhakti. Now you remember why Narayan told Lakshmi Devi, if you want to enter into Vrindavan, then you have to follow one of the residents of Vrindavan, one of the gopis of Vrindavan. So the way to enter into Vrindavan is by following one of the residents of Vrindavan who is a Ragatmika Bhakta. Right? So now you understand what's the meaning of Raganuga Bhakti? Okay. Now just consider, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came assuming the mood of Srimati Radharani. So when one follows Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is one following? Srimati Radharani, the highest of Ragatmika Bhaktas. So by following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by following the scriptural injunctions, Vaidhi Bhakti, Mahaprabhu is being worshipped following Vaidhi Bhakti, but that following of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is automatically being transformed into Raganuga Bhakti. And this has been displayed by Ramananda Roy. When Ramananda Roy was having the discussion with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or rather the other way round, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having the discussion with Ramananda Roy, what happened ultimately? Ramananda Roy saw, in place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw Radha Krishna. Rasharaj Mahabhav Dui Ek Roop. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he's seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Radha Krishna. So when one sees Radha Krishna, where is he? He is in Vrindavan. So in this way we can see that the Krishna made this arrangement. He came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, assuming the mood of Srimati Radharani, and when one follows this devotee Krishna following Vaidhi Bhakti, that Vaidhi Bhakti is automatically transformed into Raganuga Bhakti. This actually brings back one consideration, one thought in my mind. Like, I don't know whether you all are aware of it, but a few years back, some devotees from some other mutt, they were saying Prabhupada did not give everything. So we have to go to them to get the higher stuff. Now, when we understand this, can we conclude that Prabhupada gave us everything? Isn't it? Rather, those who are saying that Prabhupada didn't give everything, they didn't understand what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. That actually shows that they do not know. That's why they spoke like that. Prabhupada gave us everything. Actually, 2 years back, when we had the ILS, ISKCON Leadership Sangha, I actually gave a seminar on that. Srila Prabhupada gave us everything, including Raganuga Bhakti. And the point was this is what I actually presented, more elaborately with more scriptural evidence and all. Just in short, I just mentioned it now. Therefore, never ever think that Prabhupada didn't give everything. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, Srila Prabhupada gave it in a perfect way. Those who think that Prabhupada didn't give everything and they have to go somewhere else, they are very, very unfortunate. They are making a very serious mistake. So I will request you all not to ever make that mistake. That's why I tell everybody, never leave ISKCON. At the time of initiation, I even make the candidates take a vow that they'll never leave ISKCON. It's a promise that they have to make to me. Along with 4 regulative principles, chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds, another promise, another vow they have to take, that they'll never leave ISKCON. Although I'm not asking you to make a vow, but I'm requesting you not to ever make that mistake. Don't you ever think that Prabhupada didn't give everything. Prabhupada gave us everything in the most perfect way. And this is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya? What is the scripture saying about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, identity has been revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam, Disha Krishnam, Sangha Pangastra Parshadam, Yaggai Sankirtana Prayair, Jajantihi Sumedhasaha. Jajantihi Sumedhasaha. So, Jajanti means worship. Sumedhasha means those who are extremely intelligent. Those who are extremely intelligent, they will worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu how? Jaggai Sankirtana Prayair. So, this is the Vaidhi Bhakti, Shastra Vidhi. What is the Shastra Vidhi? Worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by Sankirtan Yajna. So you follow the Vaidhi Bhakti, worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as I pointed out, just do that, and I can assure you the door to Vrindavan will open up in front of you. In due course of time, one fine morning or maybe in the afternoon, you'll find yourself in Vrindavan. Just like Gop Kumar in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he arrived in the afternoon. He found himself in Vrindavan all of a sudden. And that's how he actually met Krishna. He had to wait for some time. He came in the afternoon. He was searching for Krishna. Then finally he saw Krishna in the evening, when it was just about to be evening, Godhuli. All of a sudden he saw everyone is looking in one direction. Then he heard that the dust was flying. And then he heard the mooing of the cows. Then he heard the laughter of the boys. And then he saw all the cowherd boys. Krishna, along with the cowherd boys, with the cows, are coming. So, someday, if we follow this very simple process that Srila Prabhupada gave us, following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we'll find ourselves in Vrindavan. So this is the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How the gopis worshipped? For them, Krishna was the only object of love. So that is the most important consideration. Sometimes it may appear to be rather cruel consideration. Ramma Kachidupashana Brajabodhu Vargena Jakulpita. The way the gopis served. Do you know how the gopis served Krishna? How the gopis served Krishna? Gopis didn't care for anybody else. The mother gopis didn't care for their children. Wife gopis didn't care for their husbands. They didn't care for their husbands, they didn't care for their children, they didn't care for their father, mother, anyone. All they wanted is Krishna. When Krishna played his flute, and as soon as the gopis heard that, whatever they were doing, they stopped that and ran. So that is the mood of the gopis. I'm not saying that you have to do it now. Don't drop your children and don't stop serving your husband. But internally you cultivate that mood. That the ultimate object of your love is Krishna. And in relation to Krishna, you see your other objects of love. Yes, as a mother, you have to love your child. But don't consider that your child is your child. Consider that this child is Krishna's devotee. Because ultimately, everyone is Krishna's devotees. We have two ways to look at things. If the mother sees the child as the body of the child, then yes, that body of the child naturally attracts her attention or affection. Because the body came from the mother. So there's a relationship. Similarly with the husband, it's a bodily relationship. With the father and mother, it's all bodily relationship. But should we get stuck only to the bodily relationship? Or our principal consideration should be the spiritual. And spiritual relationship means with Krishna, and through Krishna you see. The mother sees the child, it's not my child. He got the body through me, but the spirit soul that he is Krishna's part and parcel. Krishna's devotee. The husband sees the wife. She is not my wife. She is Krishna's part and parcel. My father and mother, Krishna's part and parcel. So in this way, Krishna consciousness means to see everything in the light of Krishna, in relation to Krishna. And that is devotional service. We don't give up the relationships or we don't give up our occupation, but we see everything in relation to Krishna. Like a devotee sees a beautiful flower and he thinks, okay, I'll offer it to Krishna. Devotee sees some beautiful vegetables. I will offer it. I'll make some nice sabji and offer it to Krishna. So in this way, he sees everything in relation to Krishna. he sees a beautiful palace and says that I must build a temple for Krishna like this. A devotee sees the vultures are flying in the sky. Vultures are flying in the sky means there must be a dead cow. And devotee thinks, oh, there's a dead cow, I'll take the skin and make mridanga and play, chant Hare Krishna, playing that mridanga. So this is how devotee sees everything in relation to Krishna, and that is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So we have about 20 minutes. So I'll just invite, if you have any question, you can ask. Does anybody have any question? Yes. Is there any mic, cordless mic? Cordless mic আছে? ঠিক আছে, পেয়ে গেছে। কটা মাইক আছে?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Wonderful lecture. I attended your yesterday class also. Wonderful. Maharaj, yesterday you mentioned that when we are neti neti, then we can go to the effulgence. And then when we meditate, then we can go the Paramatma we can. But how is it possible without bhakti? Without bhakti, I don't think this is possible, or?
Well, when it is without bhakti, then they end up with this Brahma Jyoti. Mayavadi, I mean Brahmavadi, it's not Mayavadi. They end up because they don't know Krishna. Brahmavadis, because they don't know Krishna, they cannot develop bhakti or love. In order to develop the loving relationship, one has to know Krishna. And when they get to know Krishna like this, for Kumaras, like Sukadeva Goswami, although initially they were Brahmavadis, eventually they became devotees.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, actually, we know that only one Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. We know that only our Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord Krishna. And we got the scripture is only one scripture, that is Bhagavad Gita. Finally, in the Bhagavad Gita, we have to surrender. That is only everybody has to surrender. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam raja. Then who is Radha Rani actually? That's my doubt.
Who is?
Radha Rani.
Okay, Bhagavad Gita is not revealing Radharani.
Yes.
If you want to understand Radharani, Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study, right? Which ends with surrender. But Srimad Bhagavatam is taking us what happens when you surrender, right? Surrender, you surrender. But then surrender will gradually develop into loving devotion. What happened?
Hare Krishna. Now we are not going to distribute prasadam, so all the devotees are requested to sit down. Don't make any noise, please.
Oh, this is prasad. Very good. That's a spiritual attraction. Okay, very good. Let them have prasad.
So Maharaj, let me finish it off my doubt now. So this is one aspect, Maharaj, and the second one is, okay, in Bhagavad Gita it is not there, it's not been mentioned about the Radharani. Then what is the necessity of creating the post of it, just like a post of Radharani?
What's that?
Because Lord Krishna is the ultimate, he is the only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why it has been created as the post of Radharani, and Radharani is exhibiting a special affection towards
because the Supreme Personality of Godhead has to be served with devotion. You see, you have the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but then what? What will you do with Him? You're okay, I'm okay. Will that be the thing? Huh? Or you will do something. You develop your love for Him. And when you develop your love for Him, that is called bhakti. And when you approach the bhakti region, then you see that Radharani's bhakti is the highest. Now if you don't want to go that far, then you stay wherever you are. Okay? If you think that there is no need for Radharani, then just stay wherever you are. And if you want, you can merge into Brahma Jyoti also. Okay?
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. And your speech is really overwhelming. But I have a question from yesterday's class. And that is, since spirituality is beyond our senses.
Beyond our?
Senses.
Senses, yeah. Spiritual reality, yeah.
Yeah, spirituality is beyond our senses.
Not spirituality, spiritual reality.
Spiritual reality.
The spiritual world.
Okay. So then, what's the role of our senses to understand or to realize?
Good.
That,
okay. What is the purpose of our senses?
yeah,
The purpose of our senses is to serve the Lord of the senses, Krishna. Right? The purpose of our senses is to serve the Lord of the senses.
But how can we realize that spiritual world without, since we are having
That's why you will need a guru to find out.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay? On your own you won't be able to understand.
Thank you.
You need the guidance of a teacher.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the wonderful class. As Maharaj, you differentiated between Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. As suppose we are following Vaidhi Bhakti and there are very detailed rules for everything which are mentioned in Purans. And sometimes by following those detailed rules, which ordinarily devotees may not be even knowing, if suppose we read those things, we come to know that there are so much detailed rules. So sometimes we think that if we are not following those rules, then our commitment towards the Lord is lacking. So we do not know that whether we are at that stage. So where to draw the line?
I got your point. Yes, you have to follow the rules. And Prabhupada has given the rules. 4 regulative principles, 16 rounds. Just follow these rules. Right? You don't have to do anything else. Besides just observing Ekadasi and other things.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, it was so enlightening class about though following the Vaidhi Bhakti, how we can get the love for Lord. I have I don't know whether it's appropriate to ask, what is the criteria and how we can understand that Lord Shiva doesn't get Krishna Bhakti, while we say that, I mean, sometimes that Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. So he is a Vaishnava. And how do we understand this? How do we explain this?
Good, very good point. Yeah. Yes. You see, Hare Krishna. See, the general understanding of the spiritual reality is Vaikuntha. Right? Vrindavan understanding is not really so openly given. Only when Krishna comes and he reveals his Braja Leela, then one gets to know about Vrindavan. And then Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then one gets the access to Vrindavan. Right? Like, as I said, the way to enter into Vrindavan is by following one of the residents of Vrindavan. Right? That's the only way. So unless and until one does that, like Brahma, if he remains in his Brahma situation, he will just remain Brahma. But when he follows one of the residents of Vrindavan, then he gets access to Vrindavan. Similarly, Lord Shiva, when he submits to one of the residents of Vrindavan, that's how actually they get access. But they have their access like, like as I said, Lord Shiva had to, become one of the gopis. Gopeshwar Shiva. And what is his role there? Guarding the gate of Rasa Mandali. Right? So this is the point. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and makes it available to everyone. So that is the wonderful opportunity that Krishna creates in this particular Manvantar, in this particular Yuga. Seventh Manu, Vaivashvata Manu's 28th Chaturjuga, Dwapar Yuga, Krishna comes. Then the following Kali Yuga, Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then 500 years after that, Srila Prabhupada comes. And makes it available to everyone. Thank you, Hare Krishna. There's some question on this side, let's see. Okay, last question on this side.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My question is, Maharaj, holy names are spread all over the world, but still there is Mayavada everywhere. Hypocrisy and quarrel is everywhere. And then divide and rule is still there, and then might is making right. So I'm asking this question because it might affect the chanting, reading and preaching activities in our temples also. And it is becoming difficult to become a devotee also.
Yeah, so you go out and defeat the Mayavadis. Alright?
But I'm trying to become qualified by chanting.
So first become qualified, let everybody become qualified and defeat Mayavadis.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank
That's why Prabhupada came.
Bless me, Maharaj. I will try to do that.
Yes, thank you. I wish you all the best. You see, yes, these difficulties will be there, but when you become purified by following the process, then those difficulties won't be there. Right?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful lecture. My question is, today you mentioned that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the son of the Nand Maharaj, not the son of Devaki and Vasudev. So can you please explain it more so that I can understand?
Yeah, I briefly mentioned that. You see, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Where is he? Where does he live?
Vrindavan.
Golok Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, Krishna's first expansion is Balaram. Right? Then Balaram expands as Chaturbuha. Vasudev, you see, this Vasudev, son of Vasudeva and Devaki, is an expansion of Balaram. And then Vasudev, Shankarshan. Balaram becomes Shankarshan. Krishna becomes Vasudev, Balaram becomes Shankarshan, then Pradyumna and Aniruddha. They are in Dwarka. That's their second expansion.
So I can understand that originally the Supreme Personality of Godhead resided in Golok Vrindavan, and when he took the form of, he appeared as a human being, so he took the form of, Balram expanded himself in the form of Krishna. Is that?
Were you in the class yesterday?
Yes.
Didn't I mention that Krishna's form, Krishna gave this form to the human beings.
Yeah.
It is not that Krishna became a human being.
Yes. Yes.
Alright, Krishna is Krishna, always. Right?
Yeah.
When Krishna comes, he remains Krishna himself. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank
not
you.
that Krishna becomes a human being.
Yeah.
So Krishna of Dwarka, Krishna of Vrindavan comes down to this material nature, also as the son of Nanda Maharaj. Right? Okay. Ask her, let her give. Okay.
হরে কৃষ্ণ মহারাজ, দণ্ডবাদ প্রণাম, শতকোটি প্রণাম আপনার চরণে। আমার প্রশ্ন এটাই মহারাজ, যে এত ভক্ত আপনার সবাই জানে যে গীতা স্বয়ং ভগবান, সবাই জানছি আমরা ভগবান, সত্য তেতা দাপড়ে সবাই যখন ভগবানকে ডাকতো ভক্তরা, তখন ভগবান স্বয়ং দেখা দিত। কিন্তু এখনকার যুগে ভগবান কি দেখতে পাওয়া যাবে?
হ্যাঁ, দেখবার জন্য চোখ লাগবে, রাইট? এই চোখ দিয়ে দেখতে পাবে না ভগবানকে। প্রেমাঞ্জনচ্ছুরিত ভক্তি বিলোচনে না, হ্যাঁ, প্রেম রূপ ভক্তির দ্বারা যখন আমাদের চোখ রঞ্জিত হবে, ভক্তির দ্বারা আমাদের চোখ যখন চিন্ময়ত্ব লাভ করবে, তখন সেই চিন্ময় চক্ষু দিয়ে আমরা ভগবানকে দর্শন করতে পারবো। ঠিক আছে, বাস অন্য কাউকে দাও এখন। So, yeah, you have a question? Last question.
Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Maybe a very simple question, but to me unclear. I really don't know. You were talking during telling about the gopis, and that was the pastime of Krishna. Now suddenly you said the people of Vrindavan loves Krishna very much. Do you mean at this moment? I heard that the priests there are free kshatris. They are, but the people in Vrindavan still now the only goal of them is.
Which Vrindavan you are talking about?
Vrindavan,
spiritual Vrindavan or Uttar Pradesh ka Vrindavan?
Uttar Pradesh.
Oh, then forget that.
So that was unclear for me, because you said all the people in Vrindavan loves Krishna. The
Anyway,
only game.
So when you go there, you look for Krishna. Don't look for Loi Bazaar. Okay, so we will end our class with a little kirtan.